from Mind Boggler and Blockbuster. Next up is Karin Grace, who you probably never heard of and has the least interesting death. I mean, Mind Boggler got shot when her back was turned, but trust me, Karin is even more boring. Although Mind Boggler I thought was kind of interesting due to the fact it showed how Captain Boomerang isn't a team player in that he was so cold-hearted leaving her to die because she embarrassed him. Which I thought, in a way, was interesting, and Mind Boggler, before she died, I thought her power set was interesting. Karin Grace, on the other hand, has no powers that we know of at the start. Instead, she was a member of the original Suicide Squad all the way back from the 1950s in the Brave and the Bold comics, which end up just becoming Batman Brave and the Bold, but they weren't originally. So, also another reason why I've been referring to this group as the modern Suicide Squad is because this is the Suicide Squad people know nowadays about the villains and stuff. Karin Grace was originally part of the other Suicide Squad with Rick Flag's dad, and they were like a group of military operatives who were not villains. Karin Grace is a medical support for the team who has a close bond with Rick Flag, which is a little weird to me since she was very close to his dad. But she would betray the team to the Manhunters, who is a Green Lantern group villains that are robots, who you might remember from the Green Lantern the animated series, or just like Unlimited. I think they're in both. They're probably more, but those are the two that I know of. Who we would also learn she was secretly a Manhunter herself, and would, for some unknown reason, betray the Manhunters for lying to her. I don't see how they lied to her, because I mean, unless she ever asked, they didn't tell her that she was a Manhunter. But like, why would she betray the Suicide Squad to the Manhunters in the first place? It's not really explained. Like, I guess she is a Manhunter, but then, like, what was her reasoning if she didn't know she was a Manhunter? She pushed a bomb into the Manhunters' base, blowing them all up, dying in Suicide Squad issue 9 in 1988. Having lasted only 9 issues from her initially joining the modern Suicide Squad in issue 1, which is a longer run than either Blockbuster or Mind Boggler. Blockbuster only lasted 1 issue, Mind Boggler only lasted 2 issues. She would really not pop up again in Rebirth, but this time she's not a robot. Also, I think it should be noted, despite being a Manhunter met in the modern Suicide Squad, she was seemingly human in the first Suicide Squad, which is weird because doesn't that kind of contradict some of the stuff from the original Suicide Squad run? Like, not the original Suicide Squad run, but like they had a handful of appearances in the Brave and the Bold comics. So, was she a robot back then too, or was she like replaced, like Secret Invasion style? Or maybe because Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, that no longer was I don't know what's going on. Because a lot of it contradicts itself, but I assume you could just go with Crisis on Infinite Earths changed it. Overall, Karin Grace, in my opinion, is kind of boring. She wasn't really interesting. I'm very, very surprised she came back in Rebirth. I would say the 3 characters so far I've covered, I would say my favorite is, I would say probably Blockbuster. I don't really know much about Blockbuster, but he, unlike Mind Boggler and Karin Grace, has actually appeared more than in 20 issues. Mind Boggler only, I think, showed up for, 18 issues, 2 of which were Suicide Squad, and the other ones were Firestorm comics. Well, Karin Grace only popped up, I think, like 18 times throughout both Rebirth, pre-Crisis, and post-Crisis. But that's my opinion. What's yours on Karin Grace? Do you like her? Do you hate her? Do you not have any feelings about her? Because personally, I don't care. She's not really a character, and I feel like I shouldn't have actually made this video in a way, because she technically is on the team, so I guess it counts as a Suicide Squad death. But I don't know if I should have included her as a third death. But I'm just going to be anyways, because I feel like if I didn't, I'd get yelled at by my commenters. Well, I don't really get that many comments, unfortunately, but I thought it was necessary to mention her as the third death, seeing the fact she is technically the third character to die, even if nobody knows her and she was not really a member. She was a med staff character. Anyways, like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.